Test, test. What up, everyone? Welcome to an all new Jazzy Talk. I know this has been a while. We are just under a month away from the season 5 Jazzy finale. And so the road to Jazzy Finale Weekend starts tonight. And with me today, Akihabara, TO, and Third Strike competitor, S.C.R.M, Stone Cold Ryan Meier, joining us tonight. What up, Ryan?
How's it going?
So yeah, Ryan, I just mentioned this before we went on the air. This season just for me went by so quickly. It seems like every season gets faster or goes by, or it seems like it goes by faster. And so, yeah, we are already at the end of the regular season. And before I forget, I just want to send a shout out to all of the TOs across the country who ran Jazzy ranking events. Without you, this thing doesn't work. And so I really appreciate all your hard work and your dedication to the game and to keeping competitive Third Strike alive. You including Ryan with your efforts in two scenes, both in Denver or both in Colorado and in Chicago. And so shout outs to all the TOs who ran both offline and online events for the first time this season. Online events, we should definitely talk about that later on in the show. But yeah, just shout outs to all of you and thank you so much for deciding to get on this Jazzy train. And so yeah, we are just under 4 weeks away from the Jazzy finale. I know, Ryan, Akihabara is your neck of the woods. It is your local scene. And so we are definitely going to pick your brain on what people can do while they're at Jazzy finale, aside from getting a ton of games. We're looking at about 9 right now, head-to-head setups for the event.
And total versus cities as well.
Yeah.
Brandon just updated me. He got the 8th one in, so
And hey, that doesn't mean that we can't put any more Third Strike setups in there. We could put them on some of the other machines. Like I said, when me and Brandon were talking about having, and of course we ran the Jazzy finale last year and that was a blast. And that was everything that we hoped for. But I told Brandon right away, I was like, my vision is to just walk into Aki and every cab is running Third Strike. Like, even if it were just for a few minutes, I would love to just have that soundbite in that video. Every cab in the entire venue running Third Strike. I would bring all my boards. I'd encourage all of you to bring your boards. Like, just how amazing would that be, that environment? Seeing that entire venue, every machine running this game we love. And so, yeah, shout outs to Akihabara Arcade. Shout outs to Brandon. Shout outs to you. And yeah, we'll definitely talk about the finale during the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about you first, Ryan. And so, away, Stone Cold Ryan Meier. And so, is this influenced by Stone Cold Steve Austin? Were you a big pro wrestling fan, or are you a?
Yeah, I'm a big Stone Cold.
Are you
fan,
a Mark? Are you a Mark, Ryan?
it's more of the beer drinking and the obnoxiousness and the intimidation factor, because I'm very intimidating. No, I just went through a few different names and just decided at the end I just wanted to use my real name, but I thought that was boring, so Stone Cold was my favorite wrestler. I still keep up with him. I watch his podcast often.
Yeah.
His Instagram is the best. It's just him and his barn cats. So shout outs to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just landed on Stone Cold Ryan Meier because I just like to drink beer and play Third Strike.
Yeah, well, I can't think of a better moniker to adopt than Stone Cold Steve Austin. So you were a fan growing up. So you did watch wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And so I think Stone Cold probably is the greatest pro wrestler of all time.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's a really strong case.
Mick Foley, but
yeah, okay, well, let's not go
that's
there.
That's the only other one.
But I do really think Stone Cold is the greatest of all time. Like, he's greater than Hogan.
Yeah, technically, yes. I mean, Hogan
greater than Flair.
Great wrestler.
Right?
Flair was mostly show.
Yeah.
But you know what they say? Oldest ride, longest line.
Yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
biggest celebrity wrestler is The Rock, right?
Yeah, absolutely. With the
But who is
yeah,
the
those Fast and
greatest
Furious
wrestler?
movies.
Yeah.
I mean, Stone Cold for me,
It's
but
Stone Cold. I can't think of
yeah.
anyone like I don't know, like I definitely showing my age here, but I remember, right? Like I think I don't know how old you were, but like at the height of the whole Austin thing,
Mhm.
I think I was like in high school, maybe
Oh,
junior high, high school. I
I
think I
was
was in high
10.
school. Yeah, you
I
were
was 10
10, so
years
I was
old.
in high school,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah,
just
I
could
was like
not.
prime for
Yeah,
that.
and you just could not get away from it, right?
Mm-mm.
Like Austin, just like people, like especially in the current generation, they have no idea how popular Stone Cold Steve Austin was. Like this dude was everywhere.
I mean, they have like their John Cena's now. Everyone knows
Yeah,
John
but
Cena.
not like Austin though.
Yeah.
Like Austin was on another level, and maybe this
Mhm.
is looking through rose-colored glasses, but like they made so much money. Every show was sold out. They killed it in the ratings.
Mhm.
Stone Cold started showing up in all different types of other media aside from wrestling media. Like the product was just fun, and like Stone Cold was a huge part of that. What's your favorite like Stone Cold moment though? Like, what are some of your favorite like looking back on it? Like when you think Stone Cold, okay, these moments immediately come to mind.
I mean, my profile picture is from the fight with him and Booker T in the grocery store when he's got the milk all over him. And God, I shill for the Nitro and Discord. So whenever I talk or something and call, he lifts up the jug and like chugs a little bit and cheers. Oh, perfect. It's the best $10 I've ever spent in my life. Constant entertainment. But that probably that one. I mean, when he brought the beer truck in to spray down the announcers, that one was pretty great. I mean, of course, anything to do where you beat the shit out of Vince McMahon with the bedpan in the hospital.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
one's classic.
that's a good one.
I mean, wrestling match wise, ooh, I would have to go. God, this one's hard. Maybe his first one with Shawn Michaels was super good. The one where he did with Brett Owens, the submission match, that one was super good, and he wouldn't quit, and
Hmm.
he just stopped until he passed out.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the kind of bullheadedness I like.
no, that's sick. That's sick. Yeah, man. There's so many like you said. There's way too many moments to think of. But like to me, and this was really early on in Austin's career. To me, when I saw this, that's when I knew like WWE didn't give a fuck anymore. Like they were just gonna just take this character
It's the
and they
attitude
were
era.
just gonna think about like the wildest shit. You remember the time when Austin broke into Brian Pillman's house?
Oh God, yeah,
and and Brian Pillman took out a gun
yeah, pretty much chased him out.
on
Yeah.
live TV. And
Hmm.
when I saw that segment, that's when I knew, okay, like they're not fucking around anymore.
I
Like,
mean, they had a whole generation of children saying "suck it" to people. Yeah,
like the
yeah, they
moment
did.
that segment aired, I knew they were gonna take Austin and they were just gonna like try to think of the wildest shit for him to do,
Mhm.
and it was gonna sell, and it did, and just it was amazing. But yeah, enough WWE talk. Although maybe some people who are watching this also partake in the sports entertainment, but
The
uh,
finer arts, yeah,
yeah. But speaking of entertainment, hey, Third Strike's pretty entertaining too. And so let's
yeah.
kind of talk a little bit about like Third Strike, like your journey as a player. Like when did you first play it? How did you start competing? And now finding yourself as arguably one of the pillars of again two scenes, one in Akihabara and one at Logan Arcade at Chicago.
Oh, jeez, I wouldn't go that far. Um, let's see. I mean, back in the day when everyone was an 09er, myself included, I bought OE on my PlayStation just because people said it was sick. Of course, I went straight to Makoto and just fumbled around that character and decided the game was slow and clunky and ass and it wasn't going to play it anymore. Then cut to 2016, 17. Aki opens and they have ST. We start doing more FGC stuff there. We start running like Guilty Gear and Street Fighter 5 and Tekken 7, and we start to get a bunch of numbers for a year. And then I broke my hand, and I wanted to play because I like competing still. And I was like, Brandon, we should get Third Strike. I hear I can play Chun-Li with one hand. Like, I'm gonna try it. So I sat there at Aki for hours, probably 4 or 5 hours a day, because the bus stop that I used to come to take home was right outside of it. So I just had to drive like a minute to get there. So I'd sit there and practice doing double quarter circle forwards with my left hand with the stick between this finger, and then I'd use this to grab and hit jab, and then I had one finger free over here, and I would poke around. So I just learned how to do like care grabs, which took me a long way, and I just learned how to low forward confirm and hit heavy punch, and we started running tournaments, and I did fairly well because I had to really approach the game pretty differently. Once my hand healed up, I lost all of that momentum, and I started playing like a lunatic. So cut to about 2018, 2019, we got involved with Jazzy during the first season. Barely at the end, but we did a ranking event. I don't think we did an auto qualifier that year. And that was our first year with Jazzy, and then in 2023 was our first year doing the auto qualifier at Akihabara. So, I mean, I guess that's pretty much how I got here right now.
Talk to me a little bit more because I wasn't there, but you referenced the event that you guys ran at towards the end
Mm-hmm.
of season 1, and that was actually a pretty huge event. Some pretty big names came out, including Justin Wong, I believe, and so you were at that event, right? I know I
Yeah,
wasn't,
yeah,
but yeah,
that's the
tell me
one.
more
Yeah.
about that event because I think some other players came out. I know Shotokan may have came out
Mm-hmm.
to that. Big Nasty may have came out. And so
Yeah.
yeah, like when I looked at the bracket, I was like, wow, there's gonna be some really sick third strike, and it was. As I was watching on the stream, there were a lot of high level play there. So yeah, tell me a little bit more about that event.
Yeah, I believe that was Brews and Battles 2,
Hmm.
which was, God, I hate that name, but like the premiere event because we were a bar and we were playing video games, so that's what we named it. Um, yeah, we had Third Strike there for the first time. I mean, God, we spent hours trying to learn how to stream from a cab by ourselves and like talking to people through forums. And Brandon had a connect in Japan that sent us a bunch of shit, and it was a rough process. But yeah, you said if we could stream it, we could be a part of it, and we did. I don't think Justin was at that one. Justin was at Brews and Battles 3, but Shotokan was at this one. Um, Oh my gosh, I get these two Makoto players mixed up all the time in my head, but when I see them in person, I know exactly who they are. Who was the Makoto player that found the tech for the Chun-Li stun?
Telesniper.
Yeah, Telesniper. Telesniper was there. I remember him being there. That's right. I always get him and Herb mixed up. I'm so sorry. But I know you are in person. Who else was there? Big Nasty, I believe, was there for the first time, and Bizu. Bizu was also there. Bizu's been coming to my tournaments for a long time, which has been pretty cool. So shout outs to him. But yeah, that was our first ranking event. I think we had like 2 or 3 cabs at that point, and that was like the most a lot of us have ever seen in one place. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and so yeah, fast forward, we did the finale last year, and so yeah, tell me a little bit about your experience at the finale. This is the first time you're on Jazzy Talking. I know that we've kind of talked about it on and off, but yeah, just kind of give me your impressions on how last year went.
Oh man, I'm glad everyone had fun at the finale because that was a ton of work.
Yeah.
Let's see, I was there from Wednesday night to pretty much Sunday night at the close. And I would go from open, I'd be there at 9 a.m. and I would stay to the close at 2 a.m. And I would go home and sleep. and pretty much repeat it for those 4 days. So when I got home, I just laid in a dark room with like a wet compress over my eyes because I've seen enough flashing lights. I'm getting psyoped by something in there. Uh, but I had fun when we were playing games and when everyone after the tournament was playing games because that was a lot less stressful. But yeah, we were trying to keep up on buttons and sticks and making sure everyone didn't have any complaints, and if they were complaints, at least ones we could try to fix. But yeah, Brandon and I were running around the whole weekend, so I didn't get a lot of chance to play that much, but I'm going to try to change that this year because we got a lot better control of everything this year.
That's the good thing about doing it last year. Now we know what to expect,
Mm,
and so I'm pretty confident that this year's gonna, you know, go a lot smoother. And so yeah, let's talk about this year. We sent out a tweet earlier this
mm.
week listing all the finalists for this year, and so
Yeah, a
I
lot of
thought we could,
DFW. Shout outs to those guys.
yeah. So I thought maybe we could just kind of run down the list, and so I think we could start with the auto qualifiers. And so I had Amir on Jazzy Talk I think last month. And so Amir grabbed that first spot by winning the auto qualifier at Jazzy Barcode. And so shout outs to Arliath for holding it down for that event. And then we had Neiman. I also had a previous Jazzy Talk with Neiman. And yeah, he qualified by winning the Gaming Zone auto qualifier. And so, thanks to the Cactus League, Jizza, Bling, BMXer, the entire crew, Ray Ramos, of course, Rennick, really strong Third Strike Arizona scene. So holding it down for the TGZ auto qualifier. And then the third, we had Big Nasty, who came to Arcade UFO not just with tamales, but you know, came to win it, and he did that. And so congratulations to Big Nasty for winning the Austin Arcade UFO event. And then we had Logan, Ryan. And so, that
Mm-hmm.
was an event that you were a part of. And so tell me a little bit about the Logan auto qualifier. Of course, Big Red coming out on first,
Mm-hmm.
at first place, qualifying for Jazzy Finale for a second year in a row. Last year through points, and now this year by winning the auto qualifier. And so, yeah, how was the Logan event?
Yeah, Big Red is the Midwest American hero.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He did win. That auto qualifier was so much fun. That's probably the most fun I've had playing Third Strike in a very long time. Uh, Gosh, so many great guys came up. Like Meth Rosenstock was there. Always nice to see Max. Who else came through? Goss. Goss rolling through for the first time in a while, which was amazing to see Goss. I hope to see him at the finale as well. Of course, all the Indiana guys who always come up to our events. They're always great to have around. But the top 8, especially the match with Meth and Will, Big Red. God, that kid's a nut. Meth Rosenstock. He was wake up grabbing all over the place, catching everyone slipping left and right. But Will edged it out on him, which was pretty impressive. I got to commentate the top 8 with Humbag, which was really cool. So shout outs to Humbag. It was cool commentating with a local legend like him. But yeah, it was a great time. We didn't really force that much malort on people. You know, I mean, we did, but you got to.
Yeah, the energy in Logan the last 2 years has been like we were talking about before when the podcast started. All
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
how
And
like the season's going by so fast. It was like, was it there one like last year? Like, it
mhm.
almost feels like we're still not off the high from the last season's Logan auto qualifier, and then this one. Yeah, so
I was there in March with Yogurt Brain, and it felt like we were just there,
yeah.
like not too long ago. It was the weirdest thing. We were walking around the shopping center where the hotel is, the Origin, because we went to get breakfast or some shit. I don't remember. But yeah, I just was remembering how what they see, like a sloth or a kangaroo in that lobby or some shit, or koala. I don't even remember what it was. the exotic animals. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's right around the corner, and
Yeah.
it's I'm excited.
Yeah. And so of course Brooklyn games. Uh, you made the trip out, so shout outs to you
Hmm.
for helping out with that. Boost as well, Mr. Part Two. Y'all came through to Brooklyn games, and so yeah, tell me how was that event? And I know that you
Dude.
had obviously been to Brooklyn games before, but not for like
Mhm.
an event like that. But like yeah, just tell me how that felt. Competing in an environment like that.
I had a lot of fun. Some say too much fun. Yeah, I had a great time, and shout outs to the guys in Brooklyn Arcade. They were so nice because I went out for my birthday.
Yeah.
Esther took me, so it was nice, and they had some pop and circumstance. I appreciated it. Made a boy feel special, you know. Um, but it was awesome. God, it's always like really refreshing to know that you're going to like a strong scene and you play them, and it's just like shit. All right, like I guess I have to like start adapting, start trying new things, just like kind of learning what they're doing, maybe apply it back to them. And I got to talk to a few guys, and I learned quite a bit um, over the weekend. So it was productive for me, nonetheless. But yeah, shout out to all those guys, Bunch and all of them. They were super nice and for streaming and all that with you guys. That was great.
Yeah, the commentary was so on point. All night long. Of course, we had Beast and Bunch mostly holding it down, but also got to give some love to Slat Level Up for getting in there, as well as Poe. Shout outs
Mhm.
to Poe. Did not go, as well as he wanted to, but shout outs to Poe for, keeping that energy alive and agreeing to commentate and just, yeah, I thought the event was super hype. Obviously, grand finals, Nico versus Frankie. Frankie taking it after reset. Like, yeah, like
It's
you're
a
just like
classic.
shaking your head, right? Like
It's a
that
classic.
yeah,
You've
that
seen it,
entire set.
but it
Wow.
was awesome to see it live.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Like
that was crazy. God.
like when you look back on like you were saying, you were there live, right? So like
Hmm.
looking back on it, like what are some of the things that like you remember from just like being there live? Like things that you maybe like picked up on, things you were paying attention to, or were you just kind of soaking it up and just kind of experiencing it?
Oh, I was in the moment.
Yeah.
Some say a little too in the moment sometimes. I might have had a few Modelos.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I remember the most was just how easy it was to talk to everybody there and get advice from everyone. And I didn't do too well at the event. I've had a leg of bad breaks and curses of 0-2s and maybe one DQs here and there recently, but I feel like the people I've lost to in those tournaments are better than me, and it's a lot of people who show up these tournaments are there to play Third Strike, and some of them I was not there to play Third Strike. I was there to have a few Modelos,
Hmm.
and but I learned so much, and yeah, I learned that uh, God, I'm just trying to. That was just a flash. It was a very quick weekend. Yeah, I mean, the sets between Frankie and Nika. Um, what's his name? The Ibuki player who came from Japan.
Kodama. Yeah.
Kodama, yeah, he was so much fun to play. I got a lot of sets in with his Yun. He absolutely washed me. I got his Ibuki a few times, which I was pretty proud of, but um, he was so much fun to play with. He was one of my highlights. Meeting Lionplex, that dude is great. I've never just been blatantly screamed at by somebody and laughed so hard. Yeah, sorry, I just had a whole entire flashback between or before my eyes of that whole weekend. Just got flooded with so many memories. But yeah, it was awesome. Just being able to go next door to the bodega and grab some stuff and slip back in and get some games automatically. It was fun, helping you guys run a bracket. I said never do that stuff again, but for you guys, I will.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
uh,
Yeah, that kind of leads me to my next question because you were kind of alluding it to it a little bit earlier, but like you learned a lot, but then like you turned right around and went to Combo Breaker, and so
mhm.
like do you feel do you feel like competing at the Jazzy Brooklyn Auto Qualifier, like how did that kind of, affect, your game at Combo Breaker? Because you did pretty well, but just kind of tell me a
Hmm.
little bit about how you felt like maybe, you took something from the Brooklyn experience and applied it to Combo Breaker.
Oh, I was ready. I haven't been that ready for a tournament in a while.
Hmm.
Not feeling that way, and I did fairly well. I got 13th, which is
Yeah. I mean,
nothing
out
to
of how
shrug
many
at, but
players? Like 200 something?
it's like 220 something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, was uh I was pretty ready for that, and just getting. I played a lot of Third Strike in Brooklyn, and playing those guys definitely.
Hmm.
I had to play good neutral. I had to play. Yeah, I had to have care grabs on point, which were lacking most of last weekend, but that's okay. They weren't this weekend. Um,
Yeah.
you know, it's when you just keep getting. The next person sits down, that's just that level. The next person that sits down after them is just that level. It's easy to get better that quick when you have that kind of talent pool around you, and that's how I feel like in Chicago. But I got to show up a little bit more. It's been difficult lately, but I'm planning to show up a lot more before Evo and of course the finale.
Yeah. So I guess let's talk about the finale. We got, a lot of stuff lined up. And so, well, actually, before we talk about the finale, uh, we kind of ran through all the Jazzy finalists who qualified through auto qualifiers. Now let's talk a little bit about the leaderboards. And so, yeah, earlier this week we tweeted something out letting everyone know who qualified for this year's finale. And so for the ranking events, and those are offline events, the top 5 on the leaderboard qualify. And so congratulations to Flannel Jack for taking that first place spot with just over 5,000 points. Flannel Jack really holding it down for Third Strike in the Southeast, along with, Southeast Throwdown, Jibbo and Troy and everyone over there. And so looking forward to seeing, the Southeast represent at the finale. And then second place, we got Yogurt Brain. You were just uh, sharing a story about you and Yogurt Brain. And so,
Hey, let's go, Mark.
yeah, Yogurt Brain. You could tell early
Hell yeah.
on Yogurt Brain was really about it, especially when he
Hmm.
traveled to a couple of out of town ranking events.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's been driving down to the Indy one,
yeah,
that's a drive.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He even went to, I think, a North Carolina event.
yeah, I believe so too, or
Yeah.
was trying to. I know it was at least trying
Oh no,
to.
he definitely went and he
Yeah,
won.
did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so shout outs to Yogurt Brain, getting stronger and stronger. Looking forward to seeing Yogurt compete at the Jazzy finale. Then
Hmm.
third place, it seems like we say this every year. Just basically at this point, a shoe in at Jazzy every season. We got Lance from the DFW. Shout outs to Lance for continuing to stay relevant even after all these years in competitive Third Strike. And so hopefully we can see Lance in action at Jazzy finale in a few weeks. Lance, of course, is a fellow Chun Main, Ryan.
Hmm.
And so,
Oh yeah.
any thoughts on Lance and, the stuff that you've seen from Lance? I mean, obviously, a very strong Chun player. And yeah, looking forward to seeing him compete, hopefully, at the finale.
Oh yeah, Lance is super sick.
Yeah.
I've met him a few times. The first time was at the Frosty Faustings. What was that? 2020,
Mm-hmm.
before the big one hit. Um, yeah, and he did super good there. Did he win that? I don't know if he won
No,
that.
Dr.
Uh,
Steelhammer won,
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I
But
believe.
I got a lot of good sets on him with him, and he taught me some useful information on like the back fierce fireball confirm.
Yeah.
So he probably doesn't remember it, but I'm thankful.
Oh, awesome. Sick. Very sick. And
Mm.
so in fourth place, we have another DFW player, Wax. And so we saw Wax earlier in the chat. Shout outs,
Mm-hmm.
Wax.
Just wax.
Congratulations to Wax for qualifying for this year's Jazzy finale. Coming in fourth this season after a lot of attendance at a lot of events throughout the country, whether it's majors, locals, you name it. Wax has been there, and so shout outs to Wax for grinding all throughout the season, and yeah. Looking forward to seeing that Yun in action at the finale.
Absolutely.
And then in fifth place, we have Versaga, who also qualified last year.
At Chicago.
Yeah, by winning the Logan Auto Qualifier in
Mm-hmm.
2023. And now Versaga has also qualified this year, but this time through points. And so shout outs to the Pacific Northwest Third Strike scene for starting up Third Strike in their neck of the woods, starting Jazzy ranking events, getting more shine and spotlight on a lot of the strong players over there. And so, looking forward to seeing Versaga and everyone else from Neko Dojo, Fight Kingdom. They're an awesome scene. And so hopefully we can see you all at the finale in a few weeks. And so that rounds out the top 5. Flanneljack, Yogurt Brain, Lance, Wax, and Versaga. And so we got Yogurt Brain and Wax, I believe, are first time Jazzy finalists, Ryan. And so I'm going to put you on the hot seat a little bit, Ryan, and keep you on your toes here. Do a little cooler talk, if you will. So, Wax and Yogurt Brain, they're qualifying for the finale for the first time. Out of those two players, who do you think is going to do better at the finale?
Who do I think is going to do better?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a miss if I didn't say Yogurt Brain because he's my boy.
Oh.
But no, that's actually a tough one because Wax did really well in Texas Showdown. He did really, really well in that.
Yeah.
I believe he topped 8 that. Mark Yogurt Brain just topped 8 at Combo Breaker, and I believe he was top 8 at our auto qualifier as well. So both of them definitely got the juice to do some damage at the very least.
So what's really interesting about Wax is that Lance also qualified. And so what do you think are the odds, Ryan, that they're going to choose each other? Because remember, at the Jazzy finale, you get to choose where you are in the bracket. And so what do you think are the odds that Wax and Lance are going to try and get it over with and choose one another as their first round opponent? Or do you think they're going to try to avoid each other as much as possible? Or do you think they're just going to go, you know what, screw it?
I don't know. That's I mean, what does that say about you if you pick someone local though? That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
What does that say about you?
Okay.
Because I mean, if you pick someone local, does that mean that you think you could beat them? Does it out of respect? You gotta hold your cards to your chest. So, I mean, that could speak volumes negatively too. So,
yeah.
But no, probably not. I mean, I don't know any Chun player in their right mind that's gonna pick a Yun player to fight against.
So you don't think if Lance had a chance, like if Wax was in an open bracket, an open spot in the bracket, you don't think Lance would choose Wax as the first round opponent?
Matchup wise and how any given Sunday Third Strike is, I wouldn't take the chance.
Yeah.
I hate that match. I don't know Chun-Li that likes that match. No, I don't think so. Not willingly.
Yeah, really interesting.
Not without a statement. Not without a statement behind it.
Yeah. I mean, there is no perfect way to seed, but I really do like what we started. I think we started this back in season 2 at the Invitational.
Yeah, no,
but just like letting players choose their spot in the bracket. I think it's really hype, and so looking forward to seeing who chooses who as their first round opponent. And then we have the two players who qualified through Jazzy Online. We have Nika KO, who basically went on a tear at the beginning of the season and just kind of distanced himself from the rest of the field.
He has all the points.
Yeah, to the point where there was probably no, there was probably very, little chance that he wouldn't qualify through online. Of course, what's kind of interesting about the Brooklyn Auto Qualifier, Ryan, is that if Nika had won, then he would have forfeited his spot in both the ranking and online event leaderboard, which would have opened it all up for Jazzy Online. But because Frankie beat Nika,
what a tough spot to be in. Dang.
But it
So
just kind of
bad.
it was kind of intriguing, right? Because there was some, there
Hmm.
was some intertwined storylines, because of how the rules are, and so it was interesting to see, like, if Nika had won, then then obviously it opens it up for the last Jazzy Online, which again
Hmm.
EXO still had an outside chance, but all Boa needed to do was get at least second place at the last Jazzy Online to
Hmm.
secure the spot, and that's exactly what Boa did. So shout outs to Boa, making history
Hell
by
yeah.
being the first uh, third strike player to qualify for the Jazzy Finale using a leverless controller. And so I know this is kind of a hot button topic, especially for a lot of the retro FGC scene. Um, I had mentioned it before, even before people were talking about accessibility and before it became, something that, a lot of people were seeking, like, yeah, I had Modfather Cruz, install USB, decoders on the cabs at Next Level, like years ago, like back in 2017. And so, like, kind of what are your thoughts on, like, obviously this 25th anniversary of Third Strike, games, kind of chugging along. We have new players who are primarily being introduced to it through online Fightcade. So, like, I don't think we've ever really, like, talked about your thoughts on input devices, and by the way, they will be available on select cabs at Jazzy Finale Weekend. And so
They
if you
will.
do want to use your input device, you will be able to.
So
But
you
yeah,
can't
like
blame it on us.
so and shout outs to Arcade Random Posting, who's in the chat. Huge part of helping us do that. True Tech says boo. Hey, entitled to your opinion. Definitely everyone has a take on it, but what's your take, Ryan, like, on kind of like using other input devices, especially on like cabs, or you're just the use of input devices in Third Strike in general,
I mean, I am a crotchety old man, and I only
Uh-oh.
want to play on stick and buttons, and
Uh-huh.
but in the long run, it's one of the most dumb things to care about. Really, I mean, it sucks that you know there's not already an option to plug into a cab, but who could have predicted that in the long run as well? I mean, McDonald's did with Pokemon Snap, but let's get over it. Uh, I mean, I if I see a cab, I mean, you should play on the cab. That's my opinion, but I don't really care what people use to play. And it's cool that, bigger tournaments have to use super guns because it does open up the competition pool. So that's always a good thing for the scene. So in the best thought of the scene, I support it. Saying that very
I
painfully.
like how difficult it was for you to say that,
It's just I don't want to
Ryan.
put anything in the cab. I don't want to modify
Yeah,
anything. Like
yeah,
it's
I get
supposed
it.
to be that way. Like,
I get it. I get it.
but but I know the times are changing, and I'm not gonna get stuck in the past. So
Yeah,
I'll still play on cab, and I'll also complain about the buttons and sticks.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
my prerogative.
you know, my main concern is just the competitive integrity of using a leverless stick on a game like Third
Hmm.
Strike, and I think our position for the last few years has been, hey, um, you know, someone needs to show us, right? Someone needs to show us whether or not using a leverless stick, uh, is, you know, will lead to a significant competitive advantage. Um,
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that
Offline, especially.
solemnly proves it so far. I
Yeah,
mean, people say it's easier to parry, and
yeah.
with the cleaner situation, that's something else. But I mean, I don't know if it's inherently easier to parry,
But there are also things that are harder on leverless sticks
like
to
Tiger
execute.
knees and 720s, 360s, yeah, stuff like
Um,
that.
so yeah, I think one of the things that's so exciting about, Boa potentially, competing at the finale is, this is going to be one of those first opportunities for us to see it, right? Like,
Hmm.
show us if, you know, this is broken, or show us if using a leverless device on offline third strike, you know, does, provide the player with a significant advantage. And
Oh, we'll be
so,
watching. We'll be watching. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. In
no,
the
but
long
I'm
run,
really
it's not
intrigued.
the yeah,
Because,
it's not the biggest deal, but I agree
yeah,
with you. The
yeah.
competitive integrity is the thing that I care about the most about, and nothing says right now that there's a giant edge or anything of that nature. It's just different
But
in the
hey,
long run.
if someone wants to use their Guitar Hero guitar at the Jazzy finale, maybe we can get
Don't.
compatibility for that. Let's don't encourage them. But yeah, I mean, really interested to see Boa compete. Uh, Obviously has shown very high level Oro online. Would love to see how that translates offline. And so, yeah, looking forward to all 12 players. But notice that's just 12 players. You could still be in the Jazzy finale. There are 4 spots up for grabs at Jazzy Finale Weekend. On the second day of Jazzy Finale Weekend, that Saturday, there's going to be a last chance qualifier. There's going to be 2 pools, and 2 players from winners and losers side will advance to the Jazzy finale. And remember that the losses don't carry over. And so on Sunday, it's going to be a completely new bracket. And so, yeah, on
Oh
that
yeah.
Saturday, again, 2 pools, 2 players getting out of each pool, both advancing to the 16-player Jazzy finale on Championship Sunday. And then on Friday, we got the team tournament, the 5v5. Looking forward to that. You already got a team, Ryan?
No, I actually just registered today.
No, Aki All Stars, maybe Aki All
I gotta see
Stars.
who's coming. I gotta
Yeah.
see who's coming. Yeah.
Speaking of registration, registration goes up at the end of the season, which is technically May 31st. And so be sure to register for the Jazzy finale. Save yourself some money. Register by Friday, I think, right? Is May 31st. So try to register by Friday. Start.gg/a Jazzy3S. And so that's a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so Competitor Pass will grant you entry into basically any tournament that we run during that weekend. And aside from the third strike stuff, we also have a couple side events that I'm really excited about. The first
Hmm.
one is ST. Shout outs to Riz1, Super Lore Boys, for coming out and celebrating not just the 25th anniversary of Third Strike, but also the 30th anniversary of ST. And so, we're going to have some special bead medals from Beat 'em Up Sprites, the same people who made the Jazzy trophies last season. We have something cooking up for ST. And so, Riz is going to be there. And so, shout outs to Riz for coming through and, celebrating ST 30th anniversary with us at the Jazzy Finale Weekend. And then I think ST is going to happen on Saturday. I keep going in reverse. I keep talking about Saturday first. But
Hmm.
yeah, ST is going to be Saturday night. Probably around 6 or 7. Again, we hope that all that the LCQ is going to end around 5, and then we'll have side events. And speaking of side events, go to start.gg/Jazzy3S if you want to see any other side events, any Third Strike related side events. We're gonna have 2 streams running at the same time, and so while the side events for the other games are running on one stream, we're gonna have a lot of time on stream for the other setup. And so yeah, if there's something you want to see, whether it's Third Strike related or not, check out that side event form on start.gg/Jazzy3S. And so yeah, we got ST on Saturday. That's gonna be really cool. And then we got Marvel. I got my
Marvel
homie,
2.
John Q from Brooklyn Games. You met John Q,
Yeah, good
uh,
guy.
and so really looking forward to him being there at the finale and showing some love for Marvel. There was some Marvel pop in last year at the finale, especially on the
Yeah.
Megalo. And there's some
Yeah.
Third Strike players that are pretty nice at Marvel. And so we're going to be running them on HDMI Dreamcasts. And so, yeah, shout outs to everyone over at Aki again, yourself, Ryan, Brandon, and all the other TOs over there for spreading the word for Marvel. Marvel's one of those games where I love watching it, but I could never see myself playing it. It's just too fast.
Yeah,
I
I
just
know.
can't. Like,
I can't do that.
yeah,
My eyes are too weak. I'm
yeah,
a weak souled person. That's why I
yeah,
play Chen.
yeah. So, like, that leads me to my next question, Ryan. Like, who are like the nice ST and Marvel players at Aki, like, or in that scene in Colorado? I know we got
Uh,
True Tech in the chat, so if you want to throw out some names,
well,
go
yeah,
ahead and do that too. But
True
like,
Tech knows all the Marvel players more than I do.
yeah,
But I mean, of course, like the two I could think of off the top of my head are Doctor Fatbody and Ken Infinite.
mhm.
Both of them are pretty solid at Marvel. ST wise, of course, my boy Jack TF, Vincent. What a lovely human being. Shout outs to that guy. He's a Cami player. He won Frosty Faustings 2 years ago at this point. Yeah, with Cami. Super sick. There is Dick Figure, Josh. I don't remember what he goes by now. Super good Honda player. There's a few other guys that come out from every once in a while, some old heads too. A Dictator player that I'm forgetting their name. True Tech probably knows exactly who I'm talking about. Um, yeah, there's quite a few ST players out, especially Jack Tioff. He's probably one of the best camis in the nation right now. Um, Kid is just super good at that game, and it's frustrating to play with him. But yeah,
Did you enter ST?
no, I'm not very good at ST.
I
I
think
don't
I'm
got
gonna
that
enter. I think I'm gonna enter
kind of
ST.
brain.
I'm gonna enter ST.
I'm gonna have a lot of other things going on that weekend, so I think just Third Strike for me is gonna be fine.
Yeah, definitely not gonna enter Marvel, but I think I'm gonna enter ST.
Yeah, but one thing to mention, if anybody's thinking about running an H and K bracket,
Oh,
Brandon did
okay,
say today,
okay,
confirmed, he will be putting H and K in a cab at the
okay.
finale. So if you want to run an H and K, we have the technology. It's there.
That game is wild.
Yeah, yeah. There's a clip on Twitter that's going nuts right now of a kid just the seat next to him's empty and he's finishing the combo and he kills him and it's like the kid just got up and left before the combo was over. Game's
Mm,
nuts.
yeah, maybe, huh?
Hmm.
There's a lot of time with H and K,
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
squeeze in, so that would be cool. And again, for those of you who have never been to Aki, uh, I know we've been talking about like the finale and everything, but let's just kind of talk about like the venue in general, Ryan. So like, what can attendees expect, from Jazzy Finale Weekend, and when they walk into that venue? Because I was just blown away when I first got there. But yeah.
Yeah, Brandon put a lot of love into that place. Like you could tell that dude loves arcades, loves like the district in Japan. Um, he did a great job. I can't sing his praise enough. He's a great guy, really close friend of mine as well. Um, he yeah, he's expanded into technically three different businesses in that place. He's torn down walls, that whole second room that he dubbed Versus City. That was a jujitsu karate studio at one point, and the other one was a consignment store. So it's pretty amazing that he was able to expand like that. During the pandemic, I gotta give a shout outs to Thai Tuesday for this fundraiser he ran called Akazemi on a stream with a bunch of other streamers. They were a large reason on how Brandon stayed open. So gotta pay that respect forward to them. Uh, Otherwise, God, walking in the front doors, you're just astonished to see that many cabs in one place. It's ridiculous. Like so many different Astros, Blasts. He's got some pretty rare shmups. So if you're a shmups fan, Death Smiles is the one that I know he loves and is always talking about. He's got that there. We have an initial D 8 cab with side by side, and you can get cards. He does have cards for sale. He also has Konami rhythm game cards for sale as well. So if you're into that, you can get a card there and take it to round one. Works all around. Um, what else? I mean, the Versus Cities room is impressive. I mean, I guess that's where, at the end, mostly where I operated. Brandon, myself, shout outs to like Zach123, and of course, like the local TO group there, uh, Tanner and Noah and Colin. We all built up the community around there, and you'll see that we have a big stage that's pretty equipped with 2 streams, and we have pretty much all the amenities to run a tournament whenever you want to go in there. It's not hard to just set up and go in and run. But in there, Brandon's got pretty much any cab you can think of, or if he doesn't have it there, he has the board for it somewhere nearby. Um, he's got so many different games in there. He's got Tekken 7. He just made a custom Street Fighter 6 cab. It's pretty much just like a head-to-head PS5, but it's still the 120 hertz monitor. Like, it's really nice. Um, what else? He's got a whole entire wall, which will be playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on, with all current up-to-date monitors. With God, they're the 144, whatever, 120 refresh. I don't fucking remember. Too many things to remember on that end. Um, but all that shit, very nice setup over there. So we'll be playing Dreamcast shit over there. Other than that, it's just it's a lot to take in at first. I know I just kind of regurgitated a lot of stuff, but I was just thinking about the last time I was there, and I usually do a quick walk around. Oh, and one other cool thing he's got there is he's got Typing of the Dead and Cab. So if you want to do some Typing of the Dead, that's always a big draw.
You've been talking about just how much love that Brandon puts into the venue,
Hmm.
and so like, for people listening to the podcast, thinking about their local scene or maybe interested in starting one, like, what makes it work for you guys? Like, I know there's probably not like one thing, but
Oh boy.
like just off the top of your head, like why does it, like, why do you guys think you're thriving, or why do you think it works over there
When I
at
started
Aki?
when I started TOing like 2010, 2011ish at a place called Boss Stage, with my buddy Zach123. Um, we were just running small brackets, and it was a lot of lonely nights, a lot of lonely weeklies with just like 3 or 4 people. And then those ones eventually grew because we were consistent. We were every Thursday, like 5:30, 6. I don't remember the time. Was like the registration time, and then we started bracket at 7. And every week, like rain, like sleet, snow, whatever, we were there. And then finally, I moved closer to where Aki is before Aki was built, and Aki ended up, popping up 5 minutes away from where I lived. So I was just like, let's go check it out. And Brandon was just the nicest dude. Um, he like we pretty much approached him instantly about like running stuff there because he had a bar, he was a new business. We knew we could get like 20 to 30 dudes to come in and pay like a door fee and like drink beer, so we could just scratch each other's backs. And once we started there, uh, consistency was, I guess, even more key because the Tekken guys caught wind of it, and the Guilty Gear guys caught wind of it, and then we decided to bring them in, and we started our first monthly, and then pretty much from there, Aki's just been the hub from Colorado, due to like myself, uh, of course, Havoc Noah, Tanner from he was from India. Uh, who else? Zach123, of course. Isaac303 for all the old Tekken heads out there. Um, we all kind of pulled together and brought our communities to one place, and I guess Aki was just it. Everybody agreed that it's the sickest place on earth, and we still stand to it to this day. that place is a mecca to fighting games in Versus City, especially old head cab games. So we all really appreciate Brandon.
And we appreciate Brandon as well, and you and everyone else at Aki for again allowing us to run Jazzy Finale Weekend again. Like I was saying, the first time I stepped foot in there, it was just like you were saying, it was just a lot to take in. There was so much, and so yeah, again, mad props to Brandon for all of the hard work that he puts into that venue. And yeah, come to Jazzy Finale Weekend, June 21st to 23rd.
Oh
There,
man,
yeah, event
it's gonna be so
passes
great.
available now. Again, register by May 31st. Uh, Price goes up $10 after. And so, yeah, save yourself some money. Sign up today. And yeah, I can't think of a better way to keep this party for Third Strike going than the Jazzy Finale. Third Strike 25th anniversary. It's been a pretty wild ride for the game. And so like you were talking about earlier, Ryan, you kind of started as a quote unquote 09er.
Hmm.
But like when you think about like Third Strike being around for 25 years, like before you even started even really playing fighting games, like what are some of the things that come to mind when you think about, sort of this anniversary this year and just how long the game, is being played, especially on a high competitive level.
I was always aware of Third Strike,
Uh,
and I guess the community adjacent to it. As a kid, my cousin Chad used to go to the Aurora Mall in Colorado to a place called Tilt. He played Marvel 2. He wasn't very good.
mhm.
I, he just liked to play and he just liked to, join tournaments and stuff. Um, but I would be with him because he used to babysit me, and I would just go to the mall with him. I don't think I ever saw him playing anything or anything like that, but I just remember when he would be playing Marvel 2, Third Strike was not too far from it, and the first thing I think about that place is that goddamn Tower of Power. Oh my god, that thing would go off constantly. Are you familiar with that game, Tower of Power?
No.
Oh my god. I need
Is it
you have
like
to
what
YouTube
kind of game is it?
it.
Like
It's like a ticket game.
okay.
It's like one where you stop it and like I don't know. I didn't
Oh,
even fucking
okay.
play it. It was so annoying. It was the worst. Um, but I would play uh whatever Mortal Kombat was on the floor at that time, and you know play games I wasn't supposed to because he wasn't paying attention. So whatever. Uh, but yeah, I guess from there on, uh, I picked up playing Guilty Gear before I started playing Street Fighter. And anyways, so I was, I saw it around, and I didn't really have any interest in playing it. And then, of course, I saw the Daigo parry everyone's seen, Moment 37, um, and pretty much there until I saw the tournaments that they were starting to do because OE came out, and that's when that started to pique my interest, and my close friends group started playing it more and more and more. But I kind of wrote it off right off the bat because my ass could barely play fighting games at that point, and I picked Makoto, which was a huge mistake at the time. But also my rationale was because Tominaga picked Makoto, and I've seen him drink some beers on stream, and I like to drink beers on stream, so I was like, maybe it translates.
Stone Cold, right?
Yeah. That was my rationale. But yeah, uh, I guess it's always had an infamy of being one of the harder Street Fighters to play, and how everything's so difficult in it. And then I learned how to play it, and I know how objectively wrong that is. You
Yeah.
can make it hard, but you don't have to. You do
Yeah.
not have to at all.
So yeah, Jazzy Finale Weekend, and just under 4 weeks to go, June 21st to 23rd. Looking forward to seeing as many people there. We're gonna try to put on a big party, not just for Third Strike, but for a lot of the other retro games. Again, 30th anniversary of ST. That's
Hmm.
gonna be sick. The Marvel tournament should be hype. Who knows what else we're gonna be doing that weekend as far as side events go. But yeah, head over to start.gg/Jazzy3S. And so like, what about like stuff? outside of Aki, Ryan? Like,
Mm,
for people who are thinking of attending. And by the way, we do have a hotel block at the Origin, and so if it doesn't work, I encourage you to call. We're working on them, adding some rooms. But the Origin Hotel is, the closest base hotel to the venue. A
mhm.
short walk across the street. It's around a lot of great restaurants. It's right next to an Alamo Draft House. But I don't want to steal your thunder, Ryan. But like, yeah, like for people who are thinking about going, outside of Aki and how cool that
Mhm.
place is, like, what are some things that are around that they could do as far as like going out to eat or maybe some sites that they should check out?
Yeah, the beautiful part about Aki is it's right off of a major bus line, like a highway bus line, the FF. So the FF1 and the FF3 go to downtown Denver if you take it south, and if you take it north, or technically west, I guess, it'll go into Boulder. So if you are looking to do any hiking, or if you're looking to just kind of see mountains a little bit closer, the Flatirons and Boulder are technically the mountains, but I know there's probably someone like True Tech in the chat having an issue with that because he's from Springs and they always do. Um, I'm gonna put you on blast because I know you're saying something already. Uh, but that's like a good way to go see like the wilderness because the Flatiron trails are like right there. They're super easy trails. Um, Going into downtown, they have some pretty big museums, especially like Meow Wolf. Meow Wolf is a big attraction there. It's not difficult to get tickets, but there's also, a lot of great places to go downtown and get food. The Rockies games are super cheap, so if you want to go catch a baseball game, I believe they are there that weekend. It's really easy to get in there and get some ballpark food. Get the Rocky Mountain oysters there. They do serve them at Coors Field. Uh, I'm not ashamed to say that I get them almost every time I go. They're great. Uh,
I might have to change my flight and come on Tuesday.
yeah.
For some reason it never dawned on me because like one thing that I thought would be really cool is if
Mhm.
I could go to every ballpark.
Yeah, I think every man,
Everyone wants to
over the
do
age
that,
of
right?
30,
Yeah,
yeah,
everyone
had that
wants to
thought.
do
'Cause
that.
you're just like, you're at a ballpark and you're
So I was
like,
like,
damn,
oh
this is
wait, yeah,
nice.
that's right. The Rockies play there.
This is
Okay,
nice. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, Denver's really easy to get to there. It's also super cheap. I believe it's like $2.50 to take that bus. Um, but there's a ton of stuff to do downtown. If you want to go into the mountains, I know there is a train ride that does it, but I'm not quite sure how expensive it is. Renting a car is also kind of a better option, or finding a local there to, hang out. What's around Aki is it's a lot of suburbs and a lot of chain restaurants, but there are some gems in the rough over there. My favorite place to go when I'm at Aki is a place called Tamale Kitchen. It's like a fast food um, tamale place. Like that's the best way to describe it. They do breakfast burritos. Breakfast burritos is what that region is known for, Colorado, New Mexico. Um, so we put green chilies and everything. Highly recommend the breakfast burritos. We have a local burger spot too called Good Times. Good Times. They have good French fries, the wild fries. You got to get it with the dipping sauce. That's also the good stuff. But if you're looking for Korean barbecue, because of course the FGC loves Korean barbecue, there's a place called Daiji just right down Sheridan, right there. It's like a 2 to 3 minute drive. They do reservations for big parties in advance, so that place is pretty good. Um, right next door to it is a sushi ramen place called Sakura. That place is very great too. If you're feeling frisky, down the road, there's also a place called Bojo's Pizza. That's Colorado style pizza. Uh, what Colorado style pizza is that we have bubble crust and we put honey on it. That's it. That's the end of Colorado pizza.
Whoa, whoa,
But
whoa, whoa, whoa,
otherwise,
whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, hold on. You can't just gloss over this. Hold up. What is Colorado pizza again? Describe
bubble
it.
crust. So it's like really bubbly crust. It's
Uh
like really
huh.
crunchy
Uh
and
huh.
like really, yeah, like it's not burnt, but it's like crisped up, really really big.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like once you're done eating the pizza, you put honey on the crust, and That's what makes it Colorado, baby. I don't know.
Wait, so you don't put the honey before. You
No,
wait until you finish the pizza and then you dip the
it's
crust in honey.
you drizzle it on top. Yeah,
Wow. I have
yeah.
never heard of that before.
You know, one thing too that we have, if you go a little bit up north, if you go into Boulder, there's a place called Runza. Runza has cinnamon rolls and chili. That's something that we like to eat together.
What?
And that cinnamon rolls and chili, it's fucking fabulous.
Christ.
Yeah, yeah.
Ryan,
Get
come
some
on.
culture. Get some
Wait a
culture.
minute. This is too extra here.
Yeah. So if you're feeling extra, yeah,
Chili
that's
and cinnamon, like no, I
like red
don't.
bean chili.
With the chili with beans.
Yeah, that's like a school special. That was a great day in school. So we got cinnamon roll and chili. That was awesome. It's the Mexican pizza cinnamon roll bean chili day. We all loved it.
I need to get introduced to this. People are talking like I'm crazy, so I'm gonna have to partake in this.
I'll tell my mom to fire up the crock pot.
But yeah, I mean, Jazzy Finale, coming up soon. Before we get out of here, is there anything you wanted to say to the people watching about Jazzy Finale Weekend that hasn't been
Uh,
said already? I mean, we kind of went through a lot of the stuff as far as the basics go, and what you can expect. But
mhm.
yeah, any kind of like last words about Jazzy Finale Weekend?
Yeah, one thing big first and foremost, bring a water bottle. Aki does have a refillable water bottle station. Helps out the bartenders, helps out us from cleaning up stuff all the time as well. It's filtered water, it's great. Also, being in Colorado, the altitude is very high. Uh, if you have not been in that high altitude, drink water constantly. Um, you will get migraines, you will get altitude sickness. I haven't lived there in some years, but I go back all the time, like probably 4 times a year, 5 times a year at this point. And I get altitude sickness now, even though I'm from there. So big thing is water. Drink a lot of water when you're there. Even if you're drinking beer, slow down on that. That'll sneak up on you, real good as well. If you're partaking in the devil's lettuce, ask a local. They will help you find a place. Don't go to Yelp or anything like that.
Yelp.
We'll be we'll be happy to help. There's a lot of tourist spaces around Aki, so because it's close to downtown. But yeah, if you I mean, I'll mention one Starbucks. That's a good place to go. They normally have pretty stellar deals there. So that's where I used to go. Not that I do that, but I'm doing it right now. Um, uh, what else? Basically, yeah, Aki is super awesome. I'm super glad that, you guys are coming back and, I get to be part of both sides of that coin, with the Jazzy team and with the Aki team this time. And I'm just super excited for everyone to come because Brandon put in the most hard work ever, but I also too put in a lot of hard work to making that place to what it is. So it's incredibly special to me, and I'm happy to share all that work with everybody. And just last year, it was the best FGC tournament fighting game thing ever, any function that I've ever been to. It was just electric. It's be a good way to put it. Honestly, I walked in every single day just ready to play Third Strike, ready to drink beers with the homies, maybe act like a little degenerate outside doing activities I won't mention on stream, but if you know about the bones, you know. Um, just stuff like that. I mean, it took on a life of its own. It took on its own personality, and like a lot of the dudes that I met there, and a lot of the people that I see, um, at tournaments now are just, I consider them good friends, and Jazzy was definitely the first place that I met a lot of them. But yeah, shout outs to the Denver crew for holding it down out there, and also my boys here in Chicago. Thanks for having me. Like, the auto qualifier Logan was super fun. Shout outs to the Brooklyn Arcade guys again. That was one of the most fun events too that I've ever been to. I got so many great games in. I'm super thankful for that whole weekend and my experience there. Um, Also, shout outs to you being a sneaky bastard buying my birthday dinner. You're a great friend. I appreciate you very much. But yeah, I'm just so excited for everyone to come and just see all of your hard work and all the conglomeration of Aki's hard work together and just play some Third Strike, because that's what it's about.
Right. Third Strike. You're gonna play a shitload of it if you go to the finale this year. Again, we got 9 head-to-head cabs. You know,
Mm-hmm.
who knows? You know, we'll see what we can do. But, you know, come through, especially, you know, for those of you who may have never experienced what it's like to be in an arcade tournament. I know that the FGC has changed and evolved, no pun intended, you know, over the years. But I think it would be really cool to, again, show support to Brandon and Akihabara Arcade for providing us with an opportunity, you know, even if it's for just a little while, to kind of take that time machine back to simpler times, I guess, when we were just playing games in an arcade. And again, you know, this is kind of how the FGC grew, and I think it's, you know, really cool that, you know, people like yourself, Ryan, and Brandon and Aki and all the other venues, right? Logan, Brooklyn Games, Barcode, TGZ, you know, Arcade UFO, some of our ranking event locations, you know, Boss Battle Games, you know, all these arcades across the country. It's really cool, you know, that they're, you know, really fighting to try and, you know, provide us with this opportunity to kind of, you know, for us who have been there to kind of revisit it, and for people who have never kind of experienced it before, you know, to kind of get an idea of what it was like, you know, to compete in an arcade. And, you know, and it's great that Brandon provides us with, you know, a really great place to do that. And so, yeah, Jazzy Finale, June 21st to 23rd. Definitely come out, start.gg/Jazzy3S. You know, stay tuned to our social media, especially Twitter. We're going to talk more about the finale and hype it up for everyone. And so, yeah, thanks, Ryan, for coming on board.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I'll see y'all at the next Jazzy Talk. And so, take care, everyone.
Later.